So guys, you already know who this is. King Jones. We're going straight into the football pull-up. I'm going to talk about the most important transfers. The number one transfer right now is West Ham master Rashford. Obviously, Graham Potter's took over and it seems like he's on serious business, because he wants to get West Ham a backup winger, which would be Rashford, to their team, because I think he'd be behind Bowen and Kudus in it. Obviously with their strikers they got, he'd probably be behind them too. Now, I'm playing, but no, I'm hearing that seriously they want him. I don't see Rashford going to Man United. The only way I could see Rashford going to United, I'm going to West Ham, is if it was like the last day of transfer, nobody else got him, nobody else bid, and it was the only chance of him getting football, and it was a international year. So if this was next year, then possibly I could see it happening, with international. But because it's not international year and there's other teams to be going for him, then no, I don't see it. But anyway, stop messing around. I don't see him going to West Ham. I do hear about another team, AC Milan. It seems like they're interested in him, but they've laid down their conditions that they're only willing to take him on loan and pay half of his wages. So for it to work, Man United would have to pay the rest of his wages. Basically, pay majority of his wages, like what Chelsea are doing for Sterling, kind of situation like that. I'm an Arsenal fan, but even then, even if Chelsea are paying the majority of his wages, he ain't doing nothing for us at the moment. So it's what it is. But I could see that happening. Of course, I see them offloading one of their wingers. Well, they look to offload one of their wingers. Obviously not Leao or Pulisic. I'm not sure where he'd play. Maybe AC Milan fans tell me where he'd play. Maybe would he play up front? Do I think that'd be good for him? I think, yeah, change the scenery. I'm not sure if he wants to go, if he's desperate to go, but I think that's a good move for him. Change the scenery, get out of the English media, put his head down, play some football again, and then possibly at the end of the season, if he enjoys it, stay in there. But if he has a really good end of the season, then possibly going to another team, maybe a slightly better team. If he's not great there, he can come back to the Premiership. I still think there's a few teams in the Premiership that would take him regardless of what he does out in AC Milan. But I think it's time that he just goes out there and possibly enjoys his football. Man United fans, it's a weird one because he was flying a couple of years ago. One of the best wingers in the world. Based on the season he had a couple of years ago. Is it an actual ability loss? Like, he's actually like a worse football player now than he was a couple of years ago? Or is it a mental thing? Because it's very bizarre from a player scoring 40 goals to struggling. I don't know how many goals he's got now, 3 or something, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. I'd understand if, he was getting less, or maybe he was getting similar goals, but his performances weren't good, or his performances were still good, but his goals dropped, or the performances both dropped, but to like a standard level. It's almost like he's gone under the ground now, like he's, not even doing the basics well. So, yeah, that's what's very baffling to me. While we're on AC Milan, let's go to another player, Theo Hernandez. It looks like Arsenal are after a left-back. I don't even know why they're after a left-back. These guys need attackers. I don't know what Arteta's doing here, but that's a different story. He needs to go if he fails at winning anything in the end of the season, because I don't know what's going. Let me continue. Anyway, yeah, Theo Hernandez. Theo Hernandez left back. My head's spinning, but I'll say Theo Hernandez left back. It looks like Arsenal after him. I don't know if you guys know Theo Hernandez. He's a left back. He started off at Madrid. He won the Champions League there. No, he started for Atletico Madrid. He went to Real Madrid, won the Champions League there, I think 2017-18. He was in and out the squad there. He has won Serie A. He's been at AC Milan since 2019. He's won Serie A with AC Milan. He's been in Team of the Year 4 times. He's got goal of the season there 1 time. He's averages about 5 goals. He's quite a decent goal scorer. He gets the similar amount of assists. He's very good at going forward. He plays for France as well. I think he won the UEFA Nations League, so he didn't win the World Cup with them. He's got an older brother, Lucas Hernandez, who played for Bayern. What was he playing for? PSG? But yeah, Bayern, PSG, but Bayern, I think he plays Bayern now. But yeah, he's a year older than him. So he is a good left back. I'm not saying that. I generally believe he's better than the left backs Arsenal have currently got. He's definitely better than Zeno, who needs to go. Tyranny, who needs to go. Skelly, who's a kid, and Calafiori is his first season. I'm not going to talk about those players, Moreno and Calafiori. I've got my eye on them. This the fraud watch meter. No, I'm not doing that yet. But I do think he's better than him. I can see where he's going to add. It makes sense from an Arteta point of view because he's good at passing, he's good on the ball, he's, 6 foot, he likes them sort of players that are tall and stuff, but again, Arsenal is attackers, so I don't understand why my man is going for a left back. That's not the issue, and I get that we miss Ben White, I get that Calafiori is getting injured quite often, I get that Tomiyasu needs to go because, like I've been saying to any Arsenal fan, I get you love Tomiyasu, he's a good player, right? But he's never there, so he needs to go. But we need attackers. But going from that, Arsenal and Man United, since I've been talking about both these teams, are going for Joe Bellingham. That is not it. I don't want to hear anything about Joe Bellingham. I get it, the Bellingham tax, it's his brother. But, let me know, Sunderland fans, how good he is. But I feel like we wouldn't be linked with him if he wasn't Bellingham's brother. I feel like everyone felt like they messed up not getting Bellingham. But to be fair, Man United were actually in for him. He didn't want to go. But yeah, just because his brother's cold doesn't mean that we should go for him. You remember, like, Eden Hazard, Thorgan Hazard, like, no, it doesn't mean you have to go for every brother in it. Gary Neville, Phil Neville, like, it doesn't have to be, you go for one, you go for the other one. You go for one, goes off and he goes on to be something, and then you have to go for his younger brother. Now, I'm not saying that he might not go. He might go on to be amazing, but from what I've seen, like, I don't feel like he's that guy, right now, when he's 19. Guys, let me know if he is that guy. I'm not really watching him like that, but I've watched him a few games and I was just like, okay, cool. So it looks like Arsenal are after him as well. There's so much news going on. But yeah, guys, let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about. I could go on a rant about Arsenal, but, that's for another video, and that's another video. I'm going to do another video on that. But yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, all of that.